Hello, everyone, and welcome to an all-new Deep Cuts Live. I'm your host, Antoine Reed. We're coming to you at a special time. Usually we do this a little bit later on in the day, but we have some special guests who are in another country. So it's our first I know it's not our first international, but it's one of our few international interviews that we've done. So we're going to be talking to the two people behind lesfineslames, which is a accessory company. So cigar cutters that are not your typical cigar cutters, and ashtrays, and cigar cutters that are bracelets, a whole bunch of other kind of cool stuff. So let me bring on our guests. Hey guys.
Hey. Hi guys. You good? Hello, Antoine.
Hello. So I'm sorry if I butchered that name. Actually, it's really funny because in the past, I would say couple months, I have been actually taking French lessons. So it's been a learning process. When I went through elementary school, we actually, for some reason, back in the 80s, they taught us French. And now like the popular language here is Spanish. So I have it ingrained in my head somewhere. So I'm still trying to like pick all of the elementary school stuff out and learn the language again as an adult. So it's kind of it's been a very interesting kind of learning experience. So hopefully I'll get everything else correct. But thank you all for coming on today.
You're welcome. That's a pleasure for us.
Yeah, that's our pleasure. We can have maybe a 1 hour session of French if you want to. Would that be okay with you? No?
Yeah, I don't think people would enjoy me sitting here just kind of blankly staring at the screen, saying like, "What? Like, what's going on here?" Yeah. So
maybe we can start with lesfineslames, which is pronounced lesfineslames. Actually, you don't pronounce every letter in the name. Because that's how you Americans do. Actually, you pronounce every letter in words and everything. And we have a funny story about that. We have a friend who works for the estate whose name is Raphaël Gros, but it ends with a S, but it's silent in French.
Right.
But when you guys call him, it's Raphaël Gros, so it's always a bit disturbing for him. But yeah.
Hi to Raphael. If he's watching us, hi to him.
Yeah. So that's with Raphael that we learned that all the letters are not silent in the US.
But you can say it also a Spanish way, like lesfineslames, but not the French way.
Oh, so like I said, last time I saw you two, we were at TPE in Las Vegas. So it's been a couple months now, and are you all planning to come out to PCA this year?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
Pablo will be at PCA for sure, and I might be at PCA. I don't know, because I've got some family things going on, like a baby coming in June. So
wow. Yeah. The last thing you want to be like over. Yeah, I'm sure you don't want to be all the way over in Las Vegas with the baby on the way, because there's no way you're gonna like cross time zones and get back there probably in time if you get a call that the baby's on the way.
Next year. He will come.
Yeah. Well, what I want to do with the time that we have together today is I want to introduce people to you two and to what you're, the products that you all make, because I think it's really interesting in the cigar world, especially. You just think of cigars often, and you don't always think of those products that you need or that will help enhance your enjoyment of those cigars. So I think the accessories part of the business oftentimes gets overlooked because people think it's not as exciting, but you all have made it exciting because you're not just making your typical guillotine cutter or V-cut cutter. You're making a completely different product. So I'm looking forward to kind of
maybe because as French people we are really used to guillotine, so we wanted to go a different way, actually. Yeah. So
Yeah, I can understand that.
that's how we ended up making some knives. Cameras. I don't know if you can see them because I've got a huge spot on the webcam.
Yeah, and I
But
have one here too that people might be able to see
all right.
a little bit clearer. So
Me too. Me too. Me too.
yeah.
so yeah.
Yes.
So
So
I started the company a few years ago. Maybe you want me to explain how it went?
before we dive into the company, can you just introduce each of you introduce yourselves and just talk about what you do with the company or what your position is?
Okay, cool. So I started the company a few years ago. I used to work in the video game industry for a few years in Paris, and then I went back to Marseille, my own city where I was born. I'm sorry. And then it was the time social media really took off, and I put the knowledge I had in community management. At the time, I was working on a big video game called Dark and Camelot. I was a project manager on the European exploitation of the game back then, and so I just went to social media because there were communities to address and to handle to manage actually. So that's how I started my first business as a social media consultant, and I helped other companies to create their own strategy on social media, specifically in Instagram. So that's how I started, and then a few years later, I had this idea of a cutter that would combine two of the objects I had with me all the time, the cutter and the knife. And so I thought maybe I should put my set of skills to use on this project instead of going after more and more and more clients. So that's when I started 6 years ago now. And Pablo joined me 4 years ago.
4 years.
Yeah. I used to do all that has to do with Instagram and social media and web in general. But now we are a few people. I think we have the
Nine person
yeah.
to come like on Monday, next Monday.
So it will be the ninth employee. And now for 2 months we have a guy named Fabien who is taking over this part for me. So I'm not focusing on operational tasks, and I can go on more strategic level to develop the company as we want to with Pablo.
Yeah. And my part is sales. So yeah, I was into fashion industry and jewelry industry. So that's why we developed the bracelet, because we thought it was a very cool idea. Basically, it was Pierre idea back in the days, and when he introduced me to this new thing, this new idea, yeah, I want to develop a bracelet that can be a punch cutter as well. It was part of my decision to join him as a business partner to develop the company and help him develop the sales, because my previous jobs was to handle international sales and develop distribution networks for premium brands, especially in Northern Europe. Not very much in the US, but I started with the Arabic market. So when I met Pierre, he had these very cool ideas about cigar accessories, very innovative in the cigar industry, because I enjoyed cigars since I was 18 years old, I think. So yeah, I decided to work with him and let's go for this adventure.
Yeah, I think that's, like I said, it's a very cool story because you two are kind of heading up this whole thing. Pierre, like when I know the story because a story on you all, so I kind of know some of these answers already. But for those people who have not read the story, you know, when you started this company, you know, I guess you could have gone the traditional route of finding investors and getting a whole bunch of people, you know, money kind of flooding in to create your product, but you chose to crowdsource. Like,
Yeah,
could you
absolutely.
can you just talk about crowdsourcing, because it's not something that you hear a lot about today for some reason. Like you don't hear as much about crowdsourcing. People always are, I guess, just looking for, you know, somebody to come in and fund their idea, but you crowdsource. So what is crowdsourcing for those people who don't know? And then how did you kind of set up that campaign? Because I think that's an interesting part of the story as well.
Actually, that's how the company started. You're right. I came from the cigar, the video game industry, and in the video game industry, it was really usual to launch crowdfunding campaigns and this kind of stuff to set up a new game, because there are a lot of really active communities in video games. And I think you know a bit about that, because I think you are a gamer too. So yeah, so it's something that's usual in this industry, but it wasn't usual at all in the cigar industry, mostly because you cannot crowdsource a tobacco product. So all that's left is cigar accessories, and there are only a few. If you look at it, there are only a few cigar accessory company. So I had this idea of crowdfunding the first ever cutter we made. It was a bigger version of the knife at the time, much bigger than this one. So I started with a few influencers as well to help me spread the word. I think there were 10 influencers on the first version of the cutter. So that's when also I made my first friends, and I made true friends on Instagram at the time, because when I started in the cigar business, there wasn't much things on Instagram. To be honest, 6 years ago, it was almost a blank canvas. So when I started, it was really easy for me to get the right people and get cool people to work with me. So the crowdfunding works this way. Actually, you just introduce the community with an ID, and you tell them, I'm going to make this if you fund me this amount of money. So back to the basics for people who might not know anything about crowdfunding. So I started, and the first crowdfunding campaign we made small amount. I think it was like 40K or something like that in 1 month, and then we bought all the machinery to make the products. We set up the workshop, and we crafted the first product. It was everything was crafted by hand by my former business partner, the first business partner, Jan. Maybe he sees us tonight. So Jan was making everything by hand, cutters by cutters, like a true knife maker. So at the time it took a bit of time, and I think it was delivered in 4 months or something like that. So that was still a bit long. And when Pablo joined me, we started working on a new version, Le Petit, the small version, and we had some partners like banks, like associations as well, who helped us to gather the necessary funds to start the project, and start the manufacturing before even launching the crowdfunding campaign. So we started the manufacturing, and people were receiving their products maybe 1.5 months later, when the campaign ended. And when we launched this product, it was a huge thing. And we made, I'm not good with numbers in English, but we made
140,000. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not good with large number, I'm sorry. In 5 months. So, and also what's cool is that it's something that's a huge marketing fest, actually. There are a lot of people involved. It's brand new product. Sorry, it's a brand new product. People get excited by the new product. So there is something going on in the community when we launch this kind of campaign, and that's what we did also for the bracelets. But to be honest, I think it will be the last time we make crowdfunding, because actually we produced everything before. It was just a marketing excuse, the crowdfunding campaign. So and it took us a lot of energy, because it's really resource intensive. So
Yeah, and
so we might not do it again, I think.
yeah, and the other thing is now we developed a 350 point of sales in the world in 17 countries. So now it's a little bit difficult to justify, a crowdfunding when you are now an installed brand. People know you, people are waiting for new products, and so crowdfunding has this image of young company who have to get money to launch the production. So now I think we started by that, and now we want to develop other marketing strategies other than just crowdfunding. We have a lot of new ideas to come. Diversification wise, we have a lot of new projects we are working on. So yeah, crowdfunding was history, and now we are heading to the future.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean we don't want to deal with the community anymore, because we were born this way. So we are really grateful of the supportive aficionados that follows us and help us launch new products and everything. So we'll find some other ways that will still involve the community, because that's our DNA. Actually, we cannot do anything without the community. So it won't be crowdfunding, but we will find some new innovative ways to gather the community around the next product launch.
Yeah.
Because that's what we like.
And I think that's a good topic to talk about too, is that you through Instagram and your marketing, you've built a community around this product, which I think is, because as Pablo just said, you don't really need the crowdsourcing or funding to campaign to launch a new product now, because you have this community, and it's a global community built around it. So what have you learned? Because I think a lot of businesses kind of struggle with this idea of creating communities and building, a relationship with their customer that isn't just transactional. So what have you kind of learned about engaging with customers and just getting them excited about what you're doing?
Very good question. Yeah.
That's what we say when we don't know what to answer.
That's your turn.
That's my turn. Okay, I take it. No problem. So actually, it took many forms over the years. It's been 6 years. I started the company, and I started the Instagram account as well. I used to have my own Instagram account named Steven Cigar, because cigar in French, if you did your lesson well, you know that it's the cicada, the small cricket that lives in south of France. So that's a lame pun, but let's forget about it. So I had this account, and I started with this account posting daily cigar photo. At the time, there wasn't many people doing this, so I grew up quickly in number of followers, and I launched the company. So at first it was like I'm gathering people around me and the entrepreneurship story behind it. But now it's shifted to the different kind of product we can have. So over the years, it shifted to the company and the products, because I'm no longer alone running the company. There is Pablo. We have 9 people around us. Everybody is doing an amazing job, and we are really blessed for that, because it's really complicated when you need to gather the right people around you for the project to evolve in a cool way. So we have that today. The company is booming. We are really happy with that. So today we are gathering around the product and also the community, because we are gathering around the people we can repost on Instagram. They are part of our community. That's also a way for us to show our appreciation of the post they make for us. So that we went from my content to what I call UGC, user generated content.
Mhm.
So that how it evolved and how we got the community growing as well. So
And what we are learning as well is our community is not only cigar smokers that are end customers. There are also B2B owners, retail shop owners. There are people from the industry. So our community is made of everybody, and every piece of this community has a role to play in the cigar industry. You know, if it's marketing or if it's just like a marketing manager or a owner. So we need to gather this community, and we want to talk with everyone. So that's why we believe as well in gathering the cigar community and making them go to the retail shops. That's what, you know, I'm the sales part, and that's one of my challenge is to tell people, to tell the cigar smokers, the online cigar smokers, to go to the retail shops, to visit the stores, to because, you know, we all smoke cigars, and that's a social activity. That's the basis. So we are trying to develop also strategies to make maybe brick and mortar shops owner like more a not I won't have the pretension to say attractive, but we need to say also to the online community, go to the cigar shops and meet people and share your passion with people. That's so important.
in the end, cigar smoking is social activity. You connect online, and then you go to Earths, to cigar lounges, to places to have cigars together. Honestly, it's the best feeling when we get to see you in Vegas TP for 2 years or 3 years. All the friends we have also in the cigar industry, Erica, people from the brands, really well-known brands, like plenty of people. I won't drop names, but it's an in-person activity. And what's funny is that when people just commented Mohamed Janaga, so I'm saying hi to Mohamed, is part of our close friends with whom we spot cigar in Marseille. So it's something you cannot do online. It's you can enjoy a nice cigar, you can post the pictures online, you can give people, but you're still telling us you can give people the desire of having the same cigars you. But in the end, the best thing is to meet those people. We had one of the first gathering we had from the COVID. It was with Belanos in Paris, and I was lucky to have a few of the Instagram people that I know that answered the call and came to the party at Belanos office in Paris, and it was so nice to see these people. Some people I've been friends with on Instagram for 6 years, like Robert, the cigar smoker on Instagram. We met there for the first time, and we were talking weekly on Instagram. So in the end, that's what we aim to do. We aim to bring people to places, and to have cigars together and to have fun together, and that's the thing for us. Yeah.
Now, a minute ago when you talked about retailers, so when you're dealing with retailers here in the U.S. especially, when you show them this product, and do they understand it? And I'm not saying like I'm pretty sure they understand like what it does, but I know that sometimes they get very stuck in the idea of like what is a cigar cutter, and to them a cigar cutter might be, like I said, the guillotine cutter or a V-cut cutter or something like that, or something that you just hold between your fingers like this and you know do this action. And this is something completely different. So is there like a learning curve, or is there a barrier that you have to kind of get over to help them understand what makes this cutter different and something that they should actually carry in store?
Yes, it's definitely a hard work, because when you create something very innovative and very new that people are not used to, you need to explain. So it takes a lot of time to explain. It takes time. It takes words, but it takes also videos. It takes pictures. It takes gathering. We said, social. A lot of people. Now we have a broker in New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania. Is Mo from Tatuaje Cigars, and the funny thing is, I saw he had a big knife from us, and he posted it on Facebook. So I just drop a comment saying, "Oh, you have one of our cutters. That's really cool." And he said, "Oh, that's cool." And when we released Le Petit, the small versions, I decided to just send him one just for him to try, and he received it the day of his birthday, and it was really cool. And so the thing is, he learned about Les Fines Lames because somebody showed him the product, and that's what our product is all about. It's all about, oh, look at this cutter, is really cool, and if somebody is really into our product and is really enjoying the product, it's new, it's innovative, it's a new fun way of cutting the cigar, and it cuts very well. It's really sharp, I can tell you, because we have some feedbacks. Yeah. So, but when you have a friend who's telling you, that's a really good cutter, you should try it. Yeah, I can lend it to you. So that's it takes time, but innovative people and adventurous people like our product. And the other thing is, we wanted to develop a product that is 100% made in France, in the capital of Cuttery for 600 years. It's a small city in the center of France called Pierres. And we wanted to have this a French cutter that is under $150 public price, and that's actually work. And that was the aim of creating the smaller version.
Yeah, actually, it took time. It took time to install the product into the market, but as more and more people tried it and experienced the Les Fines Lames cuts, it took off really, because I think we just made 22,000 of these.
Yeah.
So it's not a niche product. Well, it's still a niche product, but I remember when I started the company, we made like 100 cutter a year or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
In 3 years, we made 22,000 of them. So it's the curve has been really exponential. So
yeah.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, what I like about the Le Petit is that you can easily fit it into your pocket. You can fit it into your bag or whatever, and it's just easy to take around with you. And because it is not just a cigar cutter, it could come in handy in several different situations. Like because like, for example, when I get a package now, I usually don't open it with scissors. I open it with a knife of some sort, so that it could be a box cutter. It could be, it could just have so many different uses. So that's why I think that whole market is kind of untapped here, and interesting, because, the everyday carry, as they call it here in the US at least, is just, it's a growing market. People want to have, stuff that they can fit into their pocket, they can fit into their purses, they can fit into their book bags or messenger bags and carry around, but things that will have multi-purposes as well. It's not just one use out of it. And it looks nice, which helps too. It's not something that it's something that you will want to show off. Like, it's what I call a conversation starter. Like, you take this out at a cigar lounge, everybody there is going to be using a regular cutter, and you pull this out, it's going to elicit some conversation.
But the thing is, yes, it looks nice, it cuts well, but you can't take a plane with that. But even, the cigar cutters are really hard to take on a plane, or the TAC agent can be very annoying with carrying a cigar cutter, whatever it is. So that's why we developed the bracelet, because we thought, you were talking about everyday carry, and we thought, like, yeah, we all want to be fashionable people. We love our gear, we love to dress up, and especially because our community is like 70% between 25 to 45 years old. So we're talking also to the young generation of cigar smokers, and that's one of our target, is to talk to people like us, because I'm 36, Pierre is 40. We are the young generation of cigar smokers. So we want to have accessories that can represent our way of living. So that's why we wanted to have the fashionable, really nice accessories that you can carry. So, and we tried with the TAC agent in Chicago, in Denver, in Los Angeles, and it was all right, because you can, with that, you can have a cigar cutter, every day, every time with you. And that's really, it's like a demonstration. Stop being an Instagrammer.
No, but I have this one here so people can kind of see it
Yeah.
a little bit clearer. And like I said, it's nice that you just unscrew it, and that's your your punch, and then you screw it back on and you just wear it as a bracelet. And like you said, for people who travel a lot, it's always hard to travel with cigar accessories. Like, you have to like really put some thought into like what you're traveling with and where you pack it and stuff like that. And I think every cigar smoker at some point has been in a position where they forget to put something into their check bag or something like that, and they get up to the line and they're like, what is that? Like, no, you can't carry that. And then you had to get out of line, you had to mail it to yourself, and it's like this big cost, or just top it and stuff like that. So something like this, and that comes with these other bracelets. Let me see if I can show people. But you wear all this stuff. It's fashionable. It goes along with what you want, and like you said, and then you always have a cutter. And it may not be like a cutter that you usually use, but a punch is just if you want to just enjoy a cigar, a punch is a punch.
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing, is to help you, like I said, be able to enjoy that cigar wherever you are, without having to worry about carrying around a cutter, without having to worry about taking it in certain places, and getting it confiscated, which would not be fun.
Yes.
And not only with TSA and checkpoints and everything, you just go to a party with friends. It's no brainer. You have this on your wrists. You have the cigar cutter. You don't need to clutter your pockets with anything else. It's something that will save your life. So
Yeah.
So it's I use it daily today. So I just punch my cigar as well. So.
The thing is one important thing to say also is we wanted to develop cigar accessories that can fit also to women, because more and more women, more and more sisters, I believe, are going into the cigar scene, and the cigar industry as well is full of women, and we enjoy being surrounded by every type of person, because it's an open community. So we wanted also to have accessories that can fit to everybody. And the thing is, when we develop a product like that, we ask our mothers, our sisters, our friends, and yeah, and we just ask, do you find it cute? And they say, yeah, that's really cute. And when a woman can tell you, oh, that cigar accessory, that's cute, that's not too bulky, that's not too ugly, I don't know, whatever they call it. But I think we are on a good path. If somebody is telling you, "Oh, that's cute," and also a large number of people that surround cigar smokers also make gift to them, and that's a very nice accessory to give to somebody.
Oh, definitely. Like I said, I think where you all have a good hold on the industry is this idea of, you know, I think when people used to think of accessories, it was just something that you pull out and you use for like a millisecond and then you put it away and that's that, you know. But with your accessories, I mean, they can complement your style, they can complement your personality. It becomes, like I said, a part of you. It's something that you want to show off, something that, you know, if you are man, woman, whatever, you know, there's something within your catalog for everybody. It's not just one style. It's just, like I said, it's very accessible to everyone.
And the same goes for the ashtrays. We made some ashtrays in concrete that are fashionable as well. So it's some kind of design object you can have home. You can put it on the table in your living room, and it's not the ugly ashtray with brandings everywhere or special material or something like that. It's something that if you put it on the table in your living room, your wife won't be afraid to leave it there. Actually, so it's something that can live with you daily. So we always try to think of the products that can blend into people's lives. Like the bracelets, it's something that blends into your life. The ashtrays, they blend into your life as well because you have them there. It's not something as you say you pull out for a few seconds. It's something you have there and something you live with. So it's the idea we have of cigar accessories because it's a lifestyle. It's not a hobby. It's a really lifestyle. So it's something you invest into. So that's what we like when we develop new products. We think of it and we make sure that they will blend into your life.
We want to make fun.
Yeah,
That's it. And we want people to have fun.
I think that's an interesting, like, what is your creative process? Like, I'm sure you're always coming up with different ideas for products that probably just obviously they just don't pop out like within a week, or it takes some time to develop those products. So like what's your creative process like? Like how do you come up with ideas and then how do you develop that idea into a finished product?
Staying up late, smoking a lot.
yeah, and sometimes having funny ideas. I remember the time we sent the cutters into space. We made 3 cutters like this, 3 cutters, and we were sitting at the office. The first office we had with Pablo, it was like I'm sorry, I'm in Europe, so it was like 10 square meters. I don't know how much fit is that. I'm sorry, but it was a really small office, and we are sitting next to each other, and we were looking for something to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Man on the Moon. I was looking at different kind of materials like fusee, rocket parts or things like that. And at some point, I just told Pablo, come on, we are going to send them to space. Looked at me like, come on, how do you want to do that?
Leave this glass alone.
And in the end, we did it because we found a way, and it was surprisingly easy, to be honest. So it was a really fun experience and a really fun opportunity to announce the product as well, because it was the first time we revealed the new product. It was with this video, this whole thing. So sometimes it's just idea that comes and that becomes an obsession. It's like concrete ashtrays. I was sure it would be a hit, and because I was having mood boards of different kind of furniture, of materials and everything. And I thought it can be something, if we do it right, it will be something interesting. It's not like the ashtray that will stain and everything. So we made it with some philosophy in mind, like wabi-sabi, the Japanese philosophy that relies on the effects time as an object. So we made it with this in mind. It's something that will evolve. It will get some patina. It will build a story with you. So so I was sure it would be something interesting. Pablo wasn't that sure at the beginning, but in the end,
because of the shipping costs.
Yeah, yeah, because it weighs quite a bit. So in the end, we tried it. We tried it with a really small amount, and in 1 week, everything was sold out. So so we had to start manufacturing again, and it's been a huge hit as well. So sometimes you just bet on things, on materials, because the design was quite. It wasn't really specific. It was something that is nice. That's a nice design, but it's not something really eccentric. But material was something specific. So so we just try sometimes to launch new product and see how it goes. And it went well for every product we had actually. So that's a good thing. We still have to meet a wall of nope with a product. It didn't happen yet.
In terms of you have a brand that has a global presence. So how do you take your brand, because you're based in France, you have product over here in the US, I'm sure you have product in other countries. That takes a lot of work, because it's only two, I mean, you have a small team. You can't be, I know, everywhere at the same time. So how do you build this business and these products and then get them into different international markets outside of France?
So we rely on being curious about people cultures, people differences. I'm a huge fan of geography and political science. So I like to learn a lot about people, to talk a lot about people, ask them questions. It's the same thing when we decided to try to go with the US retailers. So that was the first time we met you at the TPE. We were there because we wanted to know how US cigar smokers are and what they are thinking and what their habits and how they smoke and where they go. And we were there like, they told us, oh yeah, what's your story? What you're doing here? And we said, yeah, I just want to listen to you because we don't know about you. So we want to listen. What's your story? And tell me about how is cigar life in the US? And that was the point. And after that, we're trying to build bridges. Some of there are some people who helped us a lot. I'm thinking just right now about Marco Bilic from the Cigar Smoking World Championship, because he's organizing a lot of events everywhere in the world. And that's the same. We share the same philosophy about people, about meeting new cultures. So Pierre is was sponsoring, and we are still sponsoring the Cigar Smoking World Championship. Yeah, with this, you have the logo here. Since 2017, and when I joined, I started to work with Pierre. I was like, okay, you're open to other cultures. Let's travel, let's meet people. And so we met a lot of people in a lot of regions. So that helped us develop also a distribution network that is completely international. And we also have a very good partnership with DHL Express. So we can send our goods to 83 countries in the world at the moment. And also, being present in 17 with point of sales. So it's all about, always sharing sharing our passion.
Yeah, and when you go to people being humble and saying, I don't know anything about you, just tell me about you. I want to learn. It's something that works actually, because if you go to people and say, oh, you are going to do this, and you don't even know who they are, that cannot work.
Yeah.
So that was the good experience we had for the first TP we've been to. It was in 2019. The one we met at, and it was a huge experience for us, and it was such a thing that we are this year we are focusing on structuring the company, and next year we are aiming at opening an office in the United States.
Yeah,
probably in Miami. Yeah, so it's part of the plan. So
because it's for us, it's the biggest market. We already are doing 45% of our sales in the US directly with our e-commerce website, but also with our network of around 60 retailers in the US. And Mo is our broker in New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania. We are trying to make deals with other brokers at the moment. We also are in the Davidoff shops. So yeah, it's very important for us to work with the US, within the US. Lesfineslames USA is very important to develop, the audience of the brand and the relationship with people, with local people. And also it's easy to ship the US from the US. That's also a big part of the whole picture.
It's not that we have a problem today shipping from Europe.
Yeah,
but it's sometimes some people think, what will happen if I have a problem with the order or anything? I'm telling B2B wise, not B2C, because B2C no problem.
yeah,
But on B2B, sometimes people just wonder. We just want to be clear with them. It's really easy. We take everything in charge, no problem, no problem at all. But still, it will be an interesting move for us to set up an office in Miami, for instance.
yeah.
And it will help us to have people on site and all the problems in the right time zone and everything. We are doing great today, but we will be doing better, even better next year.
Yeah, and we like the US, and we like visiting, and we like being present. We like the simplicity of the communication with US people.
Yeah.
American guys are cool, they're really cool. Yeah.
So we talked about your cutters, and we talked about the punch bracelets and the ashtrays. Is there anything else that you all have coming out or that you're working on that people should know about?
You want all our secrets?
Well, this year will really be the year we are structuring the company because we grew up so fast that we cannot do things like we did 2 years earlier. We cannot do things the same way today. So we are structuring the company to go even bigger than we are today. And I think we'll be launching a new product. We cannot tell much more at the moment. Beginning of next year, probably.
Yeah.
We are French people. We have some kind of know-how in guillotine, so maybe you should expect something in this area.
We know how to cut. We know how to cut.
Yeah.
How to cut deep, like deep cuts. But but also structuring the company is one thing, and also building a whole diverse services. We are not only into product, because we are talking with a lot of brands. We did a lot of collaboration with Oliva, Coiba Red Dot, with STG Group, with Villa Casdagli, the boutique cigar brand, Pladencia. We love Pladencia, very good team, very good people. Pernod Ricard, the French spirits brand. Havana Club, Bell & Ross, the watches. So we're developing a lot of partnerships with brands. So we want to develop that. It can go on products, it can go on strategies, it can go on communication. So we are thinking about a lot of diversification because we have a lot of ideas, and maybe other things that other than cigar accessories, maybe just as accessories also. It's a path to
Maybe eventually we are going to split the two with accessories on one side and maybe cigars on the other as well. We are thinking about it right now. So
the cigars is wow. From France is complicated.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
we're still thinking on the way we can do that, because we know and have good relationship with a lot of people in the industry now. So I think we have some kind of creative ideas that could be implemented in the cigar industry that we've never seen yet. So it's something we would like to explore as well. So we are working on something.
It takes time. It takes time to think about that, to organize that, and also to meet the right people and the people we want to work with. Because we know a lot of people, but it's also personal and human relationship. If it's all about your opportunities as well. So that's why we are open to a lot of things, and we just want to have fun in what we are doing every day. When we get up in the morning, we want to share the passion, have fun, thinking about new ideas, and so we have an open road.
Awesome. Well, at this point in the show, we usually turn it a little bit into an advice column for other business people or entrepreneurs. So there's two questions that I typically ask to kind of close out the show. So I'll let you all decide who wants to answer what questions, or if you're going to add on. The first question is, what is your why? So what motivates you to do what you do?
Wow, that's a deep question. Wow. How can we answer?
So we cannot say money, right?
No.
Obviously, it's still something. But as I told you, I used to be a smoker at first without making any accessories. I was just an aficionado. So it's the passion that drives us. It's also provoking the meeting of people and getting people together. It might be in events or something like that, but also people like that girlfriend who will want to give a nice bracelet to his boyfriend. So we are connecting people, and we want people to have fun with the product we make, to enjoy them, and we want the products we make to have a special signification to the people. So that's my personal drive in making this today.
The thing is, I consider that when you're young, you're thinking about how opportunities can evolve in your life, and you have multiple talents. Like a painter, you have different colors. So just use the right one. Choose them all, but find the right one, the one that can fit you, and believe in yourself. That's the most important thing to do, because when you completely dedicated in what you are doing, and you believe in what you are doing because you think it's the right thing to do, everything can go very well. And the one big advice is choose the right person. Very important.
Yeah.
Get rid of the toxic guys. Believe in yourself.
Yeah, well, to go off of what you just said, Pablo, the last question is typically somebody comes to either one of you, and they say that they have an idea for a business. It may not be anything like the business that you all created, but they have an idea for a business and a product or a service, and they have no idea how to get started. So what advice do you give those people out there who want to set out on their own, create their own business, launch their own product? They come to either one of you and they say, how do I get started? What do you tell them?
That's a very good question. I would like to say, just get surround yourself by good people. I'm telling this again, but I had a lot of my color was hard working skills, good strategic skills, and the ability of developing distribution network. But I didn't have any like product or I had a lot of ideas. I had a startup before that crashed. So I found the right person in Pierre to partner with business wise and to develop this idea he had. And when I met Pierre, he told me about what he was doing, and I said, "All right, so I'm the perfect fit for you to develop a real company." So my advice is, if you are alone, you can do it alone, but it will be very difficult. Okay, so if you have a good connection with somebody, let's go. And it's not about money, because you can make more money if you share from the beginning.
Also, you get surrounded with the right people. That's actually essential. Not only business partners, but as well the good like lawyers, accountants, people that will help you grow. Networking as well, and also believe in yourself, because when you have an idea, a lot of people who never did anything in their life will tell you, "Oh, that's not possible. We'll never succeed with that." Imagine I was starting with a knife to cut cigars. Imagine the number of people in my family who said, "Oh, interesting product. Okay, let's see how it works." In the end, it works. So I believed in my idea and I put the energy. It was up and downs, really deep downs sometimes, but I couldn't have made this without the people around me and Pablo first as well. So I'm really happy you joined me, because I didn't know anything about commerce and sales and everything. I was like creative mind with some kind of social media proficiency, but I lacked all the knowledge of developing the distribution network and everything. And that's what makes the company strong today. It's the conjunction of our set of skills that makes it possible. We couldn't have succeeded each on our sides. It was the fact that we are together that make it work today. So you've got to believe in yourself. You've got to be prepared to take hard hits. And you've got to surround you with the right people, and sometimes even people you can cry on the shoulder to. So and I'm not saying that about Pablo, but like my wife, my mother, my friends. There was some point of the development of the company that they just picked me up completely crashed and puzzled. So you've got to it's entrepreneurship is a rewarding thing, but it comes also with some hard times, and you've got to accept that. It's okay.
Yeah, it's like in sport. You can be the best basketball player if you don't have a good team. That won't work.
Yeah, if you're athletic at all, which I'm not, so I'll have to take your word for that. Well, I've had so much fun having you all here. Like I said, it's been a couple weeks since I've seen you all, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again, whichever one of you makes it to PCA. But before we go, could you, since there are going to be some people who are going to be listening to this and they haven't seen the little banner that's been up on the screen the whole time, can you tell people how they can find out more information about you all, what social media they need to follow? Just give people that information.
So the first stop will be the website lesfineslames.com. So I'm gonna spell it. Yeah, I'm gonna spell it. lesfineslames.com. So just go there, and you can follow us as well on Instagram, lesfineslames.
And subscribe to our newsletter, because we are making much more quality content on our newsletter. That's excellent.
Yeah, the guy we just hired, it's just the right guy. So he like revamped all the newsletter. We have got really cool stories now in the newsletter. It's not only sending product links or something like that. It's stories. Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, I want to thank you both for taking the time out of your schedule to come on today. I know
Yes.
you're in a different time zone, different country. So I'm glad we were able to make it work and have you all come on and share. And you'll have to come back on later on in the year to talk about all the stuff that we didn't get a chance to talk about in this hour. But I've always had fun running into you guys and chatting with you guys. And it's been a fun kind of friendship that we've, whenever I see you at the trade show, it's always nice because I'm like, those are two guys that I actually know.
No, we really like you, and it's a pleasure always to talk with you, to spend time with you, to have love with you, and so we really enjoy this time.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, Antoine, for everything that you are doing at Tobacco Business Magazine and Deep Cuts and all the projects you're in. Thanks a lot for that, because it means a lot to us to be supported by people like you. So we are very blessed by all this good support.
Yeah, no problem. Feelings mutual.
Cool.
So I want to thank everyone for watching today. So if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter, make sure you hit that like button or subscribe button. And if you're listening to this on any of the podcasting platforms, just make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you can be informed of anytime a new episode comes out. If you have missed any of the previous episodes, all 80 whatever of them now are on deepcutslive.com. This one will be up by the end of this week as well, so you'll be able to catch up on any part of this interview that you may have missed, or that you just want to watch again. So of course you will want to watch us three good-looking people, one with a French name and two who are actually French. So it's more than enough incentive, I think, to rewatch this episode. So want to thank our guests Pierre and Pablo again for coming on, and thank you all for watching. And until next time.
Thanks a lot to everybody.
Thank you. Yeah. See you.
Bye bye.